Donald Henry Pee Wee Gaskins, Jr. was an American serial killer. Early life. Gaskins was born in Florence County, South Carolina. His mother's name was Yulia Parrott. The court appearance followed a brief crime spree he and a few of his fellow school dropouts had taken. They gang-raped the sister of one of the dropouts and committed a string of robberies. They were arrested after a witness, who survived a hatchet assault, was able to identify them to the police. As a result, Gaskins was sent to reform school. While in reform school, Gaskins was regularly raped by his fellow inmates. After escaping from the school, getting married and voluntarily returning to complete his sentence, he was released at the age of 18 in 1951. He briefly worked on a tobacco plantation. He was arrested in 1953 and charged with attempted murder after using a hammer to attack a teenage girl who he claimed had been insulting him. Gaskins was sentenced to 6 years imprisonment at the Central Correctional Institution. He was rearrested, remanded to custody, and paroled in August 1961. Second arrest and subsequent murders. Following his release from prison, Gaskins reverted to committing burglaries and fencing stolen property. 2 years after his parole, Gaskins was arrested for the rape of a 12-year-old girl, but he absconded while awaiting sentence. In November 1970, Gaskins committed the first of his so-called serious murders, people whom he knew and killed for personal reasons. Gaskins' first serious murder victims were his own niece, Janice Kirby, aged 15, and her friend Patricia Ann Alsbrook, aged 17, both of whom he beat to death after attempting to sexually assault them in Sumter, South Carolina. Final arrest. Gaskins was arrested on November 14, 1975, when a criminal associate named Walter Neely confessed to police that he had witnessed Gaskins killing Dennis Bellamy, aged 28, and Johnny Knight, aged 15. Imprisonment. Gaskins was tried on 8 charges of murder on May 24, 1976. Heard was me laughing. Gaskins was tried for the murder of Rudolph Tyner and sentenced to death. Final truth. While on death row, Gaskins told his life story to a journalist named Wilton Earl. He claimed to having committed between 100 and 110 murders, including that of Margaret Peg Coutinho, the 13-year-old daughter of then South Carolina State Senator James Coutinho, Jr., of Sumter. However, law enforcement sources found it impossible to verify all of his claims. In his autobiography, Final Truth, Gaskins wrote that he had a special mind that gave him permission to kill. Quote, execution. Gaskins was executed on September 6, 1991.